Have you ever wondered why some relationships thrive in old age while others seem to crumble under the weight of unspoken frustrations and emotional distance? What if the secret to deeper connections and a more fulfilling life lies in a few simple, yet often overlooked, changes to how we interact with the people we love? In this video, we're going to dive into the hidden habits that may be silently eroding your relationships as you grow older. Habits like constant complaining, clinging to outdated opinions, and unknowingly pushing loved ones away. But don't worry, this isn't about pointing fingers or making you feel bad. It's about uncovering the tools you need to nurture meaningful connections and rediscover the joy that comes with being surrounded by love and respect. Why you need to stick around until the very end. You'll learn how seemingly innocent habits, like voicing your frustrations too often, can damage relationships, and how to replace them with words that uplift and inspire. Discover why holding on to outdated opinions can unintentionally create emotional walls between you and your family, and the simple shift that can turn these moments into opportunities for connection. Find out how neglecting personal hygiene, a sensitive but vital issue, impacts not only your health but also your relationships, and how small adjustments can make a big difference. Understand why trying to control or critique younger generations might be driving them away, and how letting go can actually bring them closer. Explore the power of empathy, curiosity, and gratitude in breaking free from negative cycles, and creating a legacy of love and wisdom. By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these common pitfalls, but also be equipped with actionable steps to transform your habits, deepen your relationships, and live a life full of meaning and connection. Let's get started. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. 1. Constant complaining, a silent relationship killer. One of the habits that many elderly individuals unknowingly develop is a tendency to complain, relentlessly, about almost anything and everything. It often starts subtly, perhaps as a passing comment on the weather or a mild critique of modern trends. But over time, it can snowball into a pattern of constant negativity that colors nearly every interaction. At first glance, these complaints may seem harmless, even trivial. Yet, their impact can ripple far deeper than the speaker realizes, straining relationships and leaving emotional scars on those who care the most. Picture this: a bright-eyed grandchild, brimming with excitement, eagerly visits their grandparents to share wonderful news, a promotion, a new adventure, or an achievement at school. But that joyous moment is quickly dampened by a barrage of grievances. The world isn't what it used to be, or young people today just don't have the same values, or perhaps even a wistful, melancholic life was so much better in the old days. These words, however unintentional, cast a shadow over the visit, turning what should have been a time of connection and celebration into a draining experience. The tragedy lies in the fact that these habitual complaints often stem from deep-seated emotions, loneliness, fear, or even a sense of irrelevance in a world that seems to have moved on without them. Many older adults feel left behind, their wisdom and experiences undervalued in a society that glorifies youth and innovation. They struggle to reconcile the life they once knew with the fast-paced, ever-changing world around them. And so, their frustration bubbles over in the form of complaints, a desperate cry for attention, validation, or acknowledgement of the struggles they feel unable to express directly. Yet, ironically, this very behavior often drives people away. Family members, friends, and even caregivers might find themselves withdrawing, not out of a lack of love or respect, but simply because it's emotionally exhausting to engage with someone who turns every conversation into a lamentation of what's wrong with the world. The weight of constant negativity can make even the most well-intentioned visitors hesitate, unsure of how to navigate the emotional minefield. What starts as an innocent habit of venting can slowly erode relationships, leaving the elderly person feeling even more isolated, unappreciated, and misunderstood. But the damage doesn't end there. The habit of complaining also reinforces a vicious cycle of negativity within the individual. The more they focus on what's wrong, aches and pains, societal shifts, or disappointments, the less mental energy they have to appreciate life's small joys, the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a child, or the simple pleasure of a kind word. Complaining, while seemingly a release, traps the mind in a constant state of dissatisfaction, making it nearly impossible to see the beauty and goodness that still exists. The hopeful truth, however, is that this cycle can be broken. It doesn't require a grand overhaul, just small, intentional adjustments that can make all the difference. Instead of voicing a complaint, consider offering a kind word or expressing curiosity. For instance, when that same grandchild visits, imagine the impact of saying, "It's so wonderful to see you. Tell me everything. I'm so proud of you." Such words not only brighten the visitor's day but also foster a positive and uplifting connection. They create an environment where love and attention can thrive, unburdened by negativity. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. The path to change begins with mindfulness, a conscious effort to replace complaints with gratitude, curiosity, or even a compliment. These shifts, though seemingly small, hold the power to transform dynamics and breathe new life into relationships. After all, everyone, young or old, wants to feel heard, valued, and appreciated. By choosing words that uplift rather than burden, elderly individuals can rebuild bridges that may have been inadvertently burned, drawing loved ones closer rather than pushing them away. In the end, constant complaining isn't just a habit, it's a symptom of deeper emotions and unmet needs. By addressing these feelings and shifting the focus toward connection and positivity, it's possible to break free from the cycle of negativity, nurture meaningful relationships, and rediscover the beauty in life's simplest moments. It's never too late to choose joy over grievance and connection over isolation. And in doing so, both the complainer and their loved ones can find new reasons to cherish their time together. 2. Insisting on outdated opinions, bridging the generational divide. Another common tendency among many elderly individuals is the insistence on outdated opinions, expressed as if they are unshakable truths. This is not to say that their wisdom, life experiences, or advice are without value. On the contrary, they often hold priceless insights. However, when these perspectives are delivered rigidly, with little regard for the nuances of modern life, they can unintentionally create friction, alienating the very people who would otherwise cherish their knowledge. Picture a family dinner where a grandfather critiques his grandchild's career choice or lifestyle decisions, uttering phrases like, "In my day, people knew how to work hard. This modern way of doing things won't get you anywhere." Or, "You're making a huge mistake. This never would have been acceptable in my time." What could have been a warm and enriching conversation about shared experiences and generational differences instead becomes a battleground of frustration and misunderstanding. The younger generation feels judged, while the elder feels unheard, creating a widening chasm between the two. Why does this happen? Often, this behavior stems from a deep need for emotional security. For many older adults, the world they grew up in feels safe and familiar, a set of principles and values that brought them through life's challenges and gave them a sense of identity. As the world changes at a pace they may find overwhelming, clinging to those familiar beliefs becomes a way to ground themselves in the face of uncertainty. It's not about being stubborn for its own sake. It's a defense mechanism, a way of saying, "This is what I know, and I need it to remain true so I can feel secure." Unfortunately, this rigidity can send an unintended message to younger generations, that there's no room for growth, adaptation, or understanding of new perspectives. What could be an opportunity for mutual learning instead becomes a wall, where the wisdom of the elder is dismissed as outdated, and the experiences of the young are disregarded as naive. Over time, this dynamic can erode emotional connections. Those who might have benefited from an elder's hard-earned life lessons may start to avoid these conversations altogether, feeling undervalued or criticized. The tragedy of this situation lies in its preventability. A simple shift in approach can transform these interactions into opportunities for connection and growth. The key: curiosity and empathy. Rather than presenting opinions as absolutes, open the door to dialogue. For example, instead of saying, "You're doing it all wrong," consider asking, "What made you choose this path? I'd love to understand your perspective." These simple questions create space for mutual respect and allow for a richer exchange of ideas. When elders show genuine curiosity about the lives and challenges of younger generations, they not only foster connection but also remind their loved ones of the value of their presence. Statements like, "That's interesting. We didn't do things that way in my time. How does it work now?" Or, "Tell me more about why you think this is the best choice," signal a willingness to learn and adapt. They also allow the elders' wisdom to shine in a way that feels supportive rather than judgmental. This shift doesn't mean abandoning core values or beliefs. It means framing them in a way that builds bridges instead of walls. For instance, an elder might share a story from their past to illustrate a lesson, then invite the younger person to draw their own conclusions. "When I was your age, I faced a similar dilemma. Here's how I approached it. What would you do in my situation?" These exchanges empower younger generations to see the value in experience while still feeling free to carve their own paths. Ultimately, insisting on outdated opinions doesn't have to be a source of division. By replacing rigidity with openness and judgment with curiosity, elders can offer their insights in ways that inspire rather than repel. This approach not only strengthens family bonds but also ensures that their wisdom endures, carried forward not as unyielding rules but as cherished guidance, shared in the spirit of love and understanding. The beauty of these conversations lies in their potential for mutual growth. Younger generations learn from the wisdom of the past, while older generations gain new perspectives that enrich their understanding of the present. Together, they build a bridge across time, weaving a tapestry of connection that honors both tradition and change. 3. Neglecting personal hygiene, a sensitive but vital issue. One of the more difficult and often unspoken challenges many elderly individuals face is neglecting personal hygiene. This behavior, while delicate to address, can have far-reaching consequences, not only for the individual but for those who interact with them. Skipping showers, failing to brush teeth regularly, neglecting to trim nails, or wearing unclean clothes may seem like minor issues, but they can significantly impact a person's well-being and their relationships. Imagine walking into a loved one's home and being met with an overwhelming sense of neglect, an unkempt appearance, an unpleasant odor, and an environment that feels disorganized and unclean. While the love and care for the person remain unchanged, such situations create discomfort, making it challenging to connect fully. Over time, this issue can subtly strain relationships, as visitors may find it emotionally or even physically difficult to spend extended periods in such an environment. In most cases, this behavior isn't a matter of choice, but rather the result of deeper, often hidden struggles. Physical limitations, such as arthritis or mobility issues, can make tasks like bathing or grooming feel overwhelming. Chronic fatigue, diminished energy levels, or even cognitive decline can make the simplest routines seem insurmountable. Additionally, emotional factors such as depression, loneliness, or a feeling of hopelessness can strip away the motivation to maintain personal care. For some, there's also a growing sense of detachment, where they may feel that cleanliness or appearance doesn't matter anymore, especially if they live alone, with no one to notice or remind them of the importance of self-care. Yet, neglecting personal hygiene doesn't just affect social interactions, it can have serious health consequences. Poor hygiene increases the risk of infections, skin conditions, and dental problems, all of which can compound existing health issues. It can also lead to further isolation, as others may hesitate to visit or invite the person to social events, not out of malice but because the situation becomes uncomfortable to navigate. Over time, this isolation can exacerbate feelings of loneliness and depression, creating a cycle that becomes harder to break. The key to addressing this issue lies in empathy and support rather than judgment or criticism. It's essential to approach the topic with sensitivity, understanding that neglecting hygiene often stems from deeper challenges rather than laziness or indifference. Instead of pointing out the problem in a way that could feel shaming, consider offering practical, compassionate solutions that encourage change. For instance, if physical limitations are a factor, Assistive devices like shower chairs, grab bars, or electric toothbrushes can make hygiene tasks more manageable. If depression or loneliness is at the root, focusing on companionship and emotional support can reignite a sense of purpose. Simple gestures, like gifting fragrant soaps, soft towels, or comfortable, easy-to-wear clothes, can serve as subtle but powerful reminders of the joy that self-care can bring. Sometimes, a gentle, loving conversation about how personal hygiene impacts mood, health, and self-esteem can make a significant difference. Offering hands-on help, when appropriate, can also be transformative. For example, suggesting a spa day, assisting with a haircut, or helping to organize their living space can be framed as opportunities for connection rather than tasks to fix a problem. Such actions not only address the issue of hygiene but also show the person that they are valued and cared for, fostering a sense of dignity and self-worth. It's also crucial to recognize when professional support may be needed. If physical or mental health issues are making hygiene an ongoing challenge, enlisting the help of a caregiver, counselor, or healthcare provider can ensure that the individual gets the consistent assistance they need. Regular check-ins from family or friends can also provide both encouragement and accountability. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. At its heart, this issue is about more than cleanliness. It's about dignity, health, and maintaining meaningful connections. By addressing personal hygiene with kindness and understanding, we can help elderly loved ones reclaim a sense of pride in their appearance and environment, reinforcing their self-esteem and overall quality of life. It's a reminder that small acts of care and compassion can spark significant changes, bringing light and warmth to the lives of those who may feel overlooked or forgotten. Together, we can ensure that even the most sensitive challenges are met with love, respect, and unwavering support. 4. Making offensive or prejudiced comments, a delicate challenge and an opportunity for growth. One of the most difficult behaviors to address among elderly individuals is the tendency to make offensive or prejudiced comments. These remarks often touch on sensitive topics such as race, gender, sexuality, lifestyle choices, or cultural differences. Commonly, these comments are justified with phrases like, "That's how it was in my time," or "I'm just telling the truth." While the speaker may not intend harm, the emotional weight of these words can create significant discomfort for those around them. This behavior, though rooted in generational differences, can unintentionally harm relationships and reinforce stereotypes about older adults. Imagine a family gathering, a joyous occasion filled with laughter and warmth, abruptly interrupted by an insensitive comment. A grandparent, with no malicious intent, might make a remark about someone's partner, job, or appearance that reflects outdated beliefs. For instance, they might say, "Back in my day, we wouldn't tolerate such things," or "I don't understand why people live like that now." What could have been a moment of connection and celebration is instead marred by awkwardness. Family members may exchange uneasy glances, unsure of how to respond without escalating the situation, and the atmosphere grows tense. These moments are particularly painful because they disrupt the natural flow of affection and respect that exists within families. Younger generations, who may have initially approached the conversation with admiration and love, suddenly feel judged, invalidated, or even alienated. The elder, on the other hand, may feel misunderstood, defensive, or even dismissed, creating a cycle of emotional distance and resentment. It's important to understand that these comments rarely stem from malice. Instead, they often reflect a resistance to change or a struggle to adapt to the shifting norms of a modern society. Many elderly individuals grew up in a world where certain stereotypes and biases were not only widespread but often unchallenged. These beliefs became deeply ingrained, shaping their worldview. As society has evolved to embrace greater inclusivity, equality, and diversity, some older individuals find it difficult to reconcile these changes with the values they were taught. Clinging to what they know feels safe, even if it unintentionally creates tension or alienation. Moreover, these comments can also be a way for elderly individuals to assert their relevance and authority in conversations. Having lived through decades of experiences, They may feel that their perspectives carry a weight that deserves recognition. However, when those perspectives come across as rigid or dismissive, they can unintentionally shut down dialogue, making others less inclined to engage. Over time, this pattern not only isolates the elder, but also robs them of opportunities to share their wisdom in a meaningful and impactful way. The consequences of such behavior go far beyond fleeting moments of discomfort. Prejudiced or insensitive remarks can create lasting emotional rifts between generations. Younger family members may begin to avoid conversations with their elders, not out of disrespect, but out of a desire to avoid conflict or hurt feelings. Friends, caregivers, and even strangers may withdraw, unsure of how to navigate these challenging interactions. This social withdrawal can lead to loneliness and isolation for the elderly person, reinforcing a sense of disconnection from the world around them. Additionally, these behaviors perpetuate harmful stereotypes about aging. Comments that reflect intolerance or rigidity can reinforce the idea that older adults are unwilling or unable to grow, adapt, or empathize. This not only damages relationships but also contributes to societal misconceptions about what it means to age with dignity and grace. Addressing this issue is undoubtedly challenging, but it is both necessary and transformative. The first step is fostering open, respectful dialogue. When an offensive comment is made, it's important to respond with a balance of compassion and firmness. Ignoring the remark or reacting with anger often exacerbates the problem, but calmly explaining its impact can pave the way for understanding. For example, saying something like, "I know you don't mean to hurt anyone," but words like that can really make others feel excluded or judged, invites reflection without immediately putting the speaker on the defensive. Encouraging empathy and curiosity is another powerful tool. Instead of framing conversations as confrontations, turn them into opportunities for learning and growth. Share personal stories or examples that highlight how embracing new perspectives can strengthen relationships and foster connection. For instance, you might say, "I understand that things were different when you were younger, but let me tell you about why this matters so much to me." This approach not only helps bridge generational divides, but also allows the elder to see the value of adapting their views to better connect with loved ones. It's also crucial to offer positive reinforcement when they show openness or flexibility. Acknowledge moments when they engage in respectful and inclusive dialogue, and celebrate their willingness to learn. This encouragement can make them feel valued and respected, reinforcing the idea that growth and change are signs of wisdom, not weakness. In some cases, it may be necessary to set clear boundaries. If a comment crosses a line and becomes harmful, it's important to gently but firmly express that such language isn't acceptable. For instance, you might say, "I know this isn't your intention, but comments like that can really hurt people. Let's talk about why this matters and how we can approach it differently." Setting boundaries isn't about shutting down the relationship, but about creating a foundation of mutual respect. Old age should never be seen as a time of stagnation. On the contrary, it's an opportunity to continue growing, learning, and leaving a meaningful legacy. By embracing change, older individuals can inspire younger generations with their adaptability, empathy, and wisdom. Their voices hold immense value, not as echoes of the past, but as bridges to a more compassionate and understanding future. Ultimately, addressing offensive or prejudiced comments is about fostering deeper connections and ensuring that every generation feels heard and valued. It's about showing that wisdom isn't just about holding on to what we know, but about being willing to expand our understanding and grow alongside the people we love. This journey isn't always easy, but it's profoundly rewarding for the elder, their family, and the generations yet to come. Through patience, empathy, and honest dialogue, we can turn these moments of discomfort into opportunities for transformation, creating a legacy of love, understanding, and unity. 5. Neglecting sexual health and responsibility. The fifth issue, and perhaps one of the most controversial, is the lack of responsibility in sexual relationships during old age. Despite the belief that sexuality diminishes with age, the truth is that it remains active for many people. However, this can lead to a commonly ignored problem: neglecting sexual health and protection. Imagine an elderly person entering a new or casual relationship and choosing not to use protection, believing there's no risk of pregnancy. They forget that sexually transmitted infections, STIs, don't have an age limit. This behavior, while risky, often comes from a false sense of security or a lack of updated information about sexual health. Many elderly individuals grew up in an era when STIs were rarely discussed, and protection was more associated with preventing pregnancy than avoiding diseases. With the rise of late-life relationships, especially through online dating apps, the number of STI cases among older adults has grown, creating a silent crisis that is rarely addressed. The way to handle this issue is to bring it into the open, with clarity and without taboos. It's vital to promote sexual education for this age group, covering topics such as proper condom use, the importance of regular health checkups, and the need for honest conversations with partners. Sexuality in old age is not a problem, it's a celebration of life. But for it to be fully enjoyed, it must be accompanied by responsibility, respect for one's body, and care for the well-being of others. 6. Trying to control the lives of children or grandchildren. The sixth behavior, and perhaps one of the hardest to recognize, is the attempt to control the lives of children or grandchildren. Many elderly people, feeling they are losing relevance or a central role in the family, exert emotional or practical control that can become suffocating. Imagine a grandmother insisting on deciding what her granddaughter should wear, where she should study, or even whom she should date. Or an elderly father constantly criticizing his son's career choices, saying, "This won't lead to a good future." While these actions may come from a place of love and concern, they often create tension and push loved ones away. This attitude usually stems from insecurity or a desire to maintain authority within the family. Many older people feel that by no longer being the central pillar, they've lost their importance. In response, they unconsciously try to regain this role through unsolicited advice or excessive demands. The problem is that this approach creates resentment rather than closeness. Family members may distance themselves emotionally or physically to escape the tension. The solution lies in rethinking how love and care are expressed. Instead of controlling, learn to trust. Showing support, even when you disagree with someone's choices, strengthens family bonds and fosters mutual respect. A simple phrase like, "I trust you to make the right decision," can completely transform the dynamic and bring children and grandchildren closer. In the end, what every elderly person truly desires is to be present in the lives of those they love. This becomes much easier when relationships are built on freedom, not imposition. 7. Undermining the achievements of younger generations. The seventh and perhaps hardest behavior to admit is the habit of belittling the achievements or choices of younger generations. Many elderly people, comparing their life experiences to the modern world, end up devaluing the efforts or challenges faced by their children and grandchildren. Imagine a young person excitedly sharing that they landed a new job, only to hear their grandfather say, "In my day, that was nothing. We worked from sunrise to sunset without complaining." Instead of encouraging, this type of comment can demotivate and create a sense of inadequacy. This behavior often stems from a limited perspective, where the difficulties of the past are seen as more legitimate or challenging than those of the present. What many elderly people don't realize is that while challenges have changed, they still require strength, resilience, and dedication. These comparisons are rarely made with bad intentions, but their impact can be deeply negative, leaving younger people feeling they'll never be good enough in the eyes of those who should be their biggest supporters. The change here requires a conscious effort to celebrate victories, no matter how small they seem. Recognizing the challenges of today's world as legitimate and worthy of acknowledgement is crucial. A simple phrase like, "I'm proud of you," can make an enormous difference. Showing genuine interest, asking about achievements, and listening without judgment are ways to strengthen bonds and create an environment where all generations feel valued and respected. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. After all, building a relationship of mutual admiration is far more powerful than any comparison between past and present. The most important takeaway from all these points is the realization that aging doesn't mean becoming stagnant. Life is a constant process of learning, adapting, and growing. The behaviors we've discussed may seem small or insignificant, but they have a profound impact on relationships, self-esteem, and overall happiness. How to address these behaviors and build meaningful connections. Acknowledging behaviors that may unintentionally hurt relationships or affect one's quality of life is the first and most courageous step toward positive change. While it's not always easy to recognize these habits in oneself, doing so can lead to self-improvement, deeper connections with loved ones, and a renewed sense of purpose. Transforming these behaviors takes intention, empathy, and small, consistent steps. Here are some actionable strategies to foster growth and build stronger relationships. 1. Embrace self-reflection. Take time to look inward and honestly evaluate your actions. Ask yourself, are my complaints overshadowing moments of gratitude and joy? Do my comments uplift and inspire others, or do they discourage and alienate them? Am I holding on to beliefs that no longer serve me or reflect today's world? Self-reflection is a powerful tool for growth. By examining how your actions might be perceived by others, you gain insight into patterns that could be unintentionally creating barriers. Keeping a journal or simply setting aside quiet moments each day to reflect on your interactions can help you identify areas for improvement. 2. Practice empathy and understanding. Empathy is the cornerstone of meaningful relationships. Put yourself in the shoes of younger generations and those around you. Recognize that their struggles and victories are valid, even if they differ from your own experiences. Avoid comparing their challenges to the past. Remember, every era has its own unique obstacles and opportunities. For example, instead of thinking, they have it so much easier now, try to approach with curiosity. What's it like navigating the world today? What can I learn from their experiences? Empathy builds bridges of connection and shows others that you value their journey. 3. Stay open-minded and curious. The world is constantly evolving, and staying open to new ideas, technologies, and perspectives can keep your mind active, your relationships vibrant, and your outlook fresh. Embrace learning as a lifelong process. Ask questions rather than making assumptions, especially about things you may not understand or agree with. For example, if someone shares an idea or perspective that feels unfamiliar, respond with curiosity. That's interesting. Can you tell me more about it? This not only fosters connection, but also shows a willingness to grow alongside those you care about. 4. Communicate with love and care. How you express yourself matters as much as what you say. Whether offering advice, giving feedback, or addressing sensitive topics, focus on delivering your message with kindness and compassion. Use a positive tone that conveys understanding and care. Avoid statements that sound like judgments or commands, such as, "You're doing it all wrong." Instead, try something like, "I'd love to understand your perspective. Can we talk about it?" Loving communication strengthens relationships and ensures that your wisdom is heard and appreciated rather than dismissed or misunderstood. 5. Seek support when needed. If you struggle with certain behaviors, whether it's related to personal hygiene, adapting to new social norms, or managing emotions, don't hesitate to seek help. Let family or friends know how they can support you. For instance, if physical limitations make personal care difficult, ask someone you trust to help with small tasks or consider professional assistance. If you feel overwhelmed by feelings of loneliness, frustration, or sadness, reach out to a counselor or support group. Sometimes, simply sharing your struggles with someone who listens can make a profound difference. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength and self-awareness. It shows that you're committed to improving your quality of life and maintaining meaningful connections. 6. Celebrate the present moment. Dwelling on the past or lamenting changes can keep you from fully appreciating the beauty and possibilities of today. Instead of focusing on what was better back then, make an effort to find joy in the present. Celebrate small victories and simple pleasures, such as a sunny day, a good meal, or a meaningful conversation. Practice gratitude by regularly reflecting on the positive aspects of your life. By shifting your focus to the present, you can cultivate a more optimistic outlook, which benefits both your mental health and your relationships. 7. Learn to let go. Letting go is one of the most liberating steps you can take. Holding on to outdated opinions, grudges, or the need to control others only creates unnecessary stress and limits your ability to embrace new experiences. Release grievances about the past that no longer serve you. Forgiveness, both of others and yourself, can bring immense peace. Let go of the need to be right in every situation, and instead prioritize understanding and connection. Accept that change is a natural part of life, and that adapting to it can open the door to joy and growth. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning your values or forgetting the past. It means making room for new joys, relationships, and experiences to enrich your life. 8. Lead by example. As an elder, you have the unique opportunity to inspire others through your actions. Demonstrating humility, empathy, and a willingness to grow sets a powerful example for younger generations. Show them that aging is not about clinging to the past, but about evolving gracefully, learning continuously, and living fully. When others see you embracing change, fostering kindness, and celebrating life, they will be drawn to your wisdom and presence. The path to growth and connection. Addressing these behaviors may feel daunting at first, but the rewards are profound. By embracing self-reflection, practicing empathy, staying open-minded, and letting go of negativity, you create space for stronger, more meaningful connections. These small but powerful changes not only enhance your relationships, but also allow you to live with greater joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Remember, it's never too late to grow, learn, and transform. Every step you take towards self-improvement brings you closer to the people you love and allows you to leave behind a legacy of wisdom, kindness, and inspiration. Life is a journey of continuous growth, and embracing that journey, even in later years, is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and those around you. So, what have you learned so far? Did any of the habits or ideas we discussed resonate with you? Take a moment to reflect. What's one thing you've discovered in this video that you'll start bringing into practice in your life today? We'd love to hear from you, so please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your journey of self-reflection and growth can inspire others, and your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to make a positive change in their own life. If you found value in this video, don't forget to leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, and share it with someone who could benefit from these insights. And, of course, subscribe to our channel for more videos about living intentionally, building meaningful relationships, and embracing the wisdom that comes with age. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.